is like interested in AI, I encourage you to basically start maybe some module or something there related to supply chain. Now, these LLM models, which are basically leading nowadays when it comes to AI applications, you find a lot of different applications like text summaries, code generation, auto completion. I came across a website. Actually, now there are tons of websites where you just type what you want to do. Let's say you want to create optimization model for your supply chain, and you have this data, and you want this result, but you don't know Python or you don't know R programming. You just type, provide the data, and that platform will do everything for you. It will write a report for you. It can write a research paper for you, but obviously under guidance. Like, it is still not uh, automated fully. It still needs a human basically judgment. But that is there, like code generation, auto completion, chatbots, language translation is becoming very easy. Like English gets converted to Python or R, just like English may be translated to Tamil or Punjabi. Sentiment analysis, text classification, that's another huge area. Data cleaning and transformation, very much needed in like many supply chains. Automated documentation, especially like procedures. Uh, Many companies, they use like standard operating procedures for running machine and things like that. And then there are tutoring and learning support and creating content generation. So a lot of applications involving AI. If you only like focus on LLM, large language models, and why I'm saying only LLM, because anything, any process or anything that you want to optimize can be convert that into a written thing and then try to optimize that. So it has grown actually. Just content creation market has grown from 24 to 25, from 2.5 to 3.5 billion. And by 2034, it is expected to reach about 75 billion. So this is just one component of the previous applications that I mentioned. There are different companies, they are using these methods in different parts of their supply chain. Look at JP Morgan Chase. They help to categorize documents. Airbnb for generating platform content. Delta Airlines. So Delta chatbot is very popular. Washington Post, they use it for content creation. Amazon for analyzing product reviews, where like if you have millions and millions of customer reviews, it is very difficult for somebody to read everything. So doing a sentiment analysis and understanding things are very important. So now training these models obviously is not easy. Like GPT-3 by OpenAI, it had about 175 billion parameters. And they used approximately 10,000 GPUs, NVIDIA's, and training takes several weeks. GPT-4, 1.76 trillion, and you are talking about 25,000 to 30,000 NVIDIA GPUs. You look at anything here, like Grok, for example, by Elon Musk's company X, they use 16,000 GPUs. So no wonder a company like NVIDIA is a now $4 trillion company. And there are not many countries in the world even close to the market cap that NVIDIA has. So that was a very quick introduction to supply chain and AI, and trying to connect the two. Will make use of hands-on activity. So the first thing we'll do is demand forecasting with time series analysis in R. So the whole, if I have to actually make a summary of what efficient supply chain management is, so that summary is that if you can make supply equal to demand, then you have the best supply chain in the world. So all the planning that any company does is basically based on the demand forecasting. So when I was working at Ford Motor Company, and we know that next year we have to estimate like that next year we may need 250,000 cars, so that many engines. So all the planning starts from there. So for that, how many people you need in the shop floors? So how many machines you need? Do you need extra machines, or you have to lay off people? Things like that. So everything starts with demand forecasting, and uh, I'll be surprised if there's any business that doesn't use some kind of demand forecasting. Even like schools and colleges, so they have to forecast demand, like how many students will get, and whether we need to have one section of this course or two sections or multiple sections, things like that. So we'll start with this, and for that, let me so I'm going to share my screen once again, and so go to a website, search and type POSIT Cloud. POSIT Cloud. Let me make it bigger in case you are not able to see. So POSIT, EOSIT, and Cloud. So once you hit enter, it takes you to this website. So I'm just clicking on the first one. It's called POSIT Cloud. And it gives you a lot of information, but we'll simply say you can click on get started. Let's see what we get. So it gives you a lot of options like free and the basic, standard, so on. We'll go with the free one. And for this session, free is good enough. In fact, like I asked students throughout the semester to use free, and they are able to use it. So it's good enough. And then if you are doing or using it for the first time, it will ask you to sign up. What I do is I just use my Google account. So you can create a new account with your email or just use existing one. So I'm giving you a few seconds so that you can log into it. Now, when you come in, you may not see anything under your content because you may be using it for the first time. I've been using for a lot of time, so I have a lot of projects here. But don't worry if you see a blank slate. Should I move ahead? Are you able to come to this website and log in and let me know when I can move ahead? You can just type yes. I will know that some of you are already in. Okay, so I'm getting one answer. So Slowly it is increasing. That means things are working. Okay. Now on the right side, top right side, you see new project. When you click on that, you see this drop down thing. So go with where it says new art studio project. New art studio project. So it will be creating this screen where it is saying deploying project. If you already use R, this should be something I'm sure you are already familiar with, very basics here. If you are new, you will find that it's not very complicated. So it says R version 4.5.1. So that is the latest one, 2025, June 13th. Great square root. So every iteration, every version of R has a very specific name. So this one, they are calling it great square root for some reason. And the reason I'm using this cloud version is because it works for everybody. Whether you are using Windows or Mac, it's not a problem. It's free. So you or students don't have to pay. What I will do is I'll go to Tools, Global Options, and Appearance, Editor Font Size. Let me increase this so that it is easily visible on your screen. It also gives us different options for the theme. Like right now, this is default TextMate. But if you like dark or blue, so those options are also there. I'll just keep it at TextMate level. Apply, OK. So now you get a bigger font size. And to create more room, I'll just cross this out where it says Posit Cloud so that we have more room, and then File. So when you go to new file, you'll notice that it has a lot of different options. First one is R script, but it can do actually much more. You can create apps like what people do on Shiny. So Shiny web app, you can use it for C++, HTML, Python, SQL. So it's a multi-purpose platform. Earlier it was called RStudio Cloud, and then they changed the name to Posit Cloud because now it includes a lot of different options. So I'll go with the first one. And when you are here, you will see that this file is named as untitled1. So I'm going to rename this. We can say save as, and let's say demand, because we are going to do time series with demand data. So as soon as you say save, two things happen. This file is now called demand.r, and that appears in the fourth window. This demand.r is available in the fourth window. Now from here on, whatever we do on this page, due to some reason you lose internet, due to some reason there's a power outage. So whatever you have done, you're not going to lose. It will still be stored in the cloud. So the first thing that I need, so we can call this demand forecasting. So using a hash symbol, we can give a comment, demand forecasting. So this is not a R code, simply a comment. And In R, there are a lot of free libraries or packages that we can use. I'm going to type some of them and then I'll show you how to use them. So there's a library called Forecast. And then there's a library called Tidyverse. Tidy and then VERSE, Tidyverse. One thing to remember for anybody who is new to R is that R is case sensitive. If I'm typing forecast in lowercase, make sure you also have lowercase. If you make uppercase, then you may get an error. Another library I will use today is Lubridate. So this is for working with time, and time series always involves time. So you need this Lubridate. And finally, one more library finally called time series data. Actually, for the timing, let's keep only these three to save time. Now, one thing you'll notice is when I was typing these things, at the top, I have some notification that forecast, Lubridate, and Tidyverse required and not installed. So now this is like AI speaking to you. It is noticing what you are trying to do and what you don't have. So it is asking you whether you want to install. So this is like a smart way of getting things done so that you don't miss out on something. So I will simply say install and let it install. So in R, actually, there are thousands and thousands of free packages available, and these are developed by some of the leading experts. And not only leading experts, but also by all these companies, like you have Google with so many packages. There's a very interesting package by Facebook called Profit, and it does excellent work of time series forecasting. There's package by X or Twitter, and then many other companies. So a lot of people actually make packages and make it available free of cost. And if you are developing some kind of AI tool, then it becomes handy that you don't have to develop those tools from the scratch. You can use that in your program and then create something of your own. So while it is installing these three packages, you'll notice that there's a green bar and there's a stop sign. And when there's a stop sign, make sure that you don't try to do something in between. Otherwise, it may mess up things. So that's why there's a stop symbol here. So let it complete. And it doesn't take much time, like less than 2 minutes. One thing people typically like initially forget after installing a package, they forget to run these lines. So this is done now. Now to run these lines, now I can actually cross this out because I have these three. So you can select all three and then click on run button, and that will run and make these packages available. Or you can be anywhere in the line, like my cursor can be here and I can hit run, it will run that line. And when it runs that line, cursor automatically goes to the next line. I can again click run, it goes to the next line, again click run, and then it moves to the next line. You don't have to physically move cursor from one to the other. Okay, so what I will do is I need data, and for the data, there is a link that I will provide in the chat room. So let me copy and paste. So data link. So if I copy that link on the internet, you'll see this is a small data set where you have year, month, engines sold. So that's the data I'm talking about. And this is from basically on my GitHub page. So you can download that as a CSV file, or you can directly read that using the link. So I'm going to directly use the link. So let me store the data in D, and I'm pointing an arrow towards D, which means whatever I'm going to put on the right side will be stored in D. So we are going to read dot, you can see dot CSV. So it's a CSV file. And file names, usually we should provide quotation mark. So 2 quotation marks, and then simply paste that link here. Whatever link that I copied, so that link, you paste it. So you can see it is GitHub account, BK Rai, and engine underscore demand.csv. So you simply run this line. So it says open the connection to, there's an error. Or missing URL. So let me see what is missing here. So I'll copy this again and paste it. Okay. So due to some reason, first time it did not accept. So now this D is there in the third window. If you click on D, it's a small data set from 2022 to 2025 July. So 3 years of data, and how many engines were sold each month. So basically, how many cars, let's say Ford Motor Company was able to sell every month of a specific make, and that data is there. And a company which is supplying these engines, they need to forecast the demand so that they can plan ahead, because it takes time to make or manufacture an engine. So this data is there now. Now, the only thing is this data is not in a time series format. Like if you look at this, you have year, month, and so on. So this is not a typical time series. So I need to do some data preparation first and modify a few things, and then again store that in D. So I'm using a function called TS for time series. So it will identify the data as time series data. And if you look again in this data set, the last column, engines sold, E capital, S capital, and underscore in between. So the way I can tell R where my data is D and then $sign. So after $sign, it will allow me to select any one of the three columns. So I'm selecting this one. So that's our engine data. And then I have to say what is the start date for this time series and what is the end date, or it will automatically pick up. So using C and brackets, I can say we start in 2022. So 2022 August. August is 8th month. So I can say 2022 8. So that is the starting point. And what kind of data this is? So frequency, it is a monthly data. So frequency is 12. Now, as soon as I do that, you'll notice in the third window now D becomes time series data. And if you want to plot how it looks, this is how it looks like. Now, usually when we do time series, there are like many courses available, and it is very time-consuming process to arrive at a good model. But that's where AI helps. So as I mentioned earlier, AI tools help to improve productivity, or like make you more productive. You can do more in less time. So I'm going to create a model and store that in model and put an arrow. And the function that I will use in R is called auto arima. So I'm going to automate the process, let it figure out all various aspects of the time series. What I'm interested in is getting a final good model. So I simply provide D and run, and in no time, it runs everything. It looks for various different types of models and stops. So everything is now stored in the model. If you want to look at summary of the model, you can get all that information available to you. So it says, for example, it is a ARIMA model, and it gives you all these parameters. So typically, the format is ARIMA, and then you have P, D, Q's, Q, and then you have the uppercase P, D, and Q, and then you have S. So any general time series model has these things, and this PDQ is basically non-seasonal component that doesn't depend on seasonality, and uppercase PDQ is the seasonal component. Things happen as per the season, like ice creams get sold more in summer season. If you look at like I've studied car engine related failures, we used to find that the fuel injectors they fail a lot during winter seasons, and turbochargers they fail maybe more in summer seasons. So many products exhibit seasonality. And so for P you see a number called 0. So that is the auto recursive order, and the order is 0. When you see 1 for Q, 1 for D, so that is a integrated order or differentiating degree, and that degree is 1. So time series data has been differentiated or differenced once to achieve seasonality, stationarity, because you need stational time series parameters. And then you have a moving average related to Q, and 1 means moving average of order 1. So it is only looking at the previous month for the moving average. And then similarly for seasonality, you have P for seasonal autoregressive order, because even in the picture you cannot see seasonality. It's more of a flat picture. So seasonality is not there. That's why P is missing. D, which is seasonal differencing, that is missing. And Q, which is moving average, that is also missing. So we don't need those parameters. And then you have seasonal periodicity, which is also not mentioned. Typically, if it is a yearly data, and if you have seasonality, it will be 12. So you get all the coefficients. You also get this AIC, which measures how good or bad the model is. So, so we were able to do that very quickly only because we made use of a tool. Now, what many companies can do is build some kind of app around this, where you get the demand data and then feed that into your economic order quantity, like what should be my economic order quantity be for this kind of situation. So let me ask you a question. So when we use this auto-arima.arima function in R for building the kind of model we just now built, what do you think was the primary purpose of auto.arima function? Anybody wants to answer that? So let me put that as like in 4 options so that you can choose one that you like. Let's say A is to manually specify ARIMA model parameters based on user input. A. B is to automatically select the best ARIMA model out of all possibilities based on criteria like AIC. C, to generate random demand forecasts without historical data. And D, to calculate inventory levels directly from time series data. What do you think makes more sense? So somebody is saying D, somebody is saying B. So looks like competition is between B and D. So okay, so let's narrow down on B. B is to automatically select best ARIMA model based on criteria like AIC, and D was to calculate inventory levels directly from time series data. So auto ARIMA, I would say, I think those of you who replied B, I would say is the correct, because so far we didn't talk about inventory. We only talked about how it reports AIC and picks the best model and reports various parameters. Okay, so now let's do the inventory optimization quickly, and then we can stop. Now, one is I want to basically arrive at economic order quantity. If in operations, that's a very important activity. So you have the entire supply chain, you figure out like what is the demand likely to be, and you want to figure out how to optimize your order quantity. Now, before I move, let me also use the model to do some forecasts. So I will store forecast in F. And to forecast for next 12 months, we can say that I want to use the model. So the model which is stored in this model, and the horizon, prediction horizon is 12. I want to predict for next 12 months. So you run that, and let me see if I can auto plot using F. So it gives you a prediction with some confidence bands. Obviously, the series is more of a stationary series, not there's no seasonality in it. Typically, it will not happen, but this is like made up data, and it gives some confidence bands. So let's say our demand forecast for the next month, first month. So that value is given here. It is available in F. So I'm going to, use F where the forecast values are sitting, and then choose a dollar sign, and then use mean and specify that I'm looking at only the first observation using a square bracket. So you run that. If you only select D1 and run, it tells you the value. So this exact value is about 1394. So basically 1395 engines will be needed in the next month. So that is the demand for the next month. And let's say ordering cost, OC, is $2,500. So each engines are expensive. So ordering cost is $2,500. Run that. So that gets stored in OC. Another cost, important cost, is holding cost. If you have to keep the engines before they are assembled in the car and sold for a long time, then there's a price to be paid. Now, suppose that cost is $110. So cost per engine per period, per month, because you need a space, you need to like transport from one place to maybe a storeroom or whatever. So that is the cost. And then let's say LT, lead time, is 2 months. So when you order something, it takes 2 months for that engine supplier to really give you that order. So with all that, we also need actually variability. Demand underscore standard deviation. So SD of, let me see if this works or, okay. So standard deviation is about $108.94. So with this, I can now calculate EOQ. So I'm just using the standard formula, square root of 2 times the demand forecast, which is in D1, times the ordering cost, OC, and that divided by holding cost, HC. So it will report EOQ, what economic order quantity will B251, which is minimizing the ordering cost and holding cost. If you want to calculate safety stock, how much to keep so that you're not having a stock out situation, so safety stock, we use a standard normal distribution 1.96 times the demand SD, the standard deviation for demand. As I start typing, actually it pops up, so I select it, and then square root of lead time. So these are standard formulas. So that gives you a safety stock. To avoid stock out situation, you need to keep about 301 every month. So typically, like what people do is they go to one tool for doing one thing, another tool for doing another thing. Now, how AI comes into picture, you can automate that process uh, because we have limited time. But the idea is the next step will be if you are working as a like student in a company and you are asked to create an AI for inventory optimization, you use the auto arima function and make the prediction for next 12 months, and then in the Shining app also create these simple formulas which takes like 5 minutes to simply type, and create some kind of app around it where somebody just clicks a button or presses somewhere, and immediately they get a number. So it's very useful to learn some of the skills for implementing AI in practice. Two leading tools are R and Python. So nowadays, like most of my classes that I teach, even to undergrads, I make sure that they have some knowledge about coding. And good thing about R is that you see, like ARIMA models, it's a very, very complex topic, but a very small function, auto.arima, and then suddenly you have the best model. So learning these codes is almost like given for anybody. You need to learn basics of cloud computing. You need to learn basics of SQL, structured query language, because all these huge data sets are sitting, and then somebody has to extract that information from these data warehouses. You need that standard language. And statistical methods always, they are the foundation of anything that you do with data. Now, anybody like who wants to get started or already like has made some progress, I do have some lectures on some of these machine learning methods. I also have a lecture on how to create an app that you can use for implementing any AI in practice. So these are like for especially for students, it's a must know kind of top 10. You need to know extreme gradient boosting, random forest, principal components, cluster analysis, market basket analysis, like what Amazon like used like a magic. First time they implemented this market basket analysis, like on their platform, their revenues grew by 40%. So you're talking about $1 trillion company and 40% growth just by a simple machine learning tool. So with that, I think, stop few minutes early so that if you have any question, I can help answer that. If you like, I can also pose one more question. Let me, 1 second. So let me ask you a very simple question related to the presentation. I'm putting that in the chat. Let's see how many people were attentive. I'm also giving you some options. So some people have started answering B. I think that means I think all 100 plus people were very, very attentive, because B is the correct answer. Standard deviation of demand during lead time, because standard normal distribution, and we use sigma standard deviation of the demand, reflecting variability during the lead times, because lead times are not like if we say 2 months, sometimes it can be delayed uh, because of so many reasons, as you know, like risk in the supply chain. There are many things involved. Yeah. Okay. Another question. What do you think? During the inventory optimization, you calculated EOQ. What does the EOQ model aim to minimize? And your options are so perfectly. I think that's the benefit of like working with the many of the faculty members, that they are sometimes always paying attention, and I think you have been teaching, maybe teaching for many years, so it is already in your mind. So obviously that famous curve where one cost keeps on going up, other cost keeps on coming down, and the intersection minimizes the total cost of ordering versus holding. So that's the optimal point. And so in this session, basically, we try to start with the big picture of demand, and then how that gets used, that information in the supply chain for making day-to-day decisions. And when you basically create some kind of productivity tool using R or Python, where these things can be simplified and can be done in less time, where people save time and less chances of error. Like if somebody is doing with calculator or by hand, sometimes there may be errors, there may be typo. So all that can be avoided using AI tools. Okay, so anybody has any question, I'm happy to answer.
Dr. Rai, this is Dr. Savita this side from SD College. So I think we had a discussion with you that you are going to make the session very much interactive, and really from core of my heart I feel that you have did your wonderful job. I sincerely commend you on behalf of AICTE and SD College for giving experiential learning opportunity to all the participants. I think this is very much indicative that I like to hashtag you with the supply chain manager, that how you had made this session so much interactive. And it is really reflecting that yours exceptional expertise, how you have given the learning experience to all the participants. We are highly obliged and thank you so much for such a wonderful session.
Thanks, Dr. Gupta, for inviting me and this opportunity. And it's always like good to work with you. We have worked in the past, and I think I always enjoy it. And I know like these the topics that we cover, especially AI. I think I found this very interesting because uh, nowadays everybody is talking about it, and even our students when they go out,
Yeah.
people expect them to have some project done and things like that. So I thought I will combine the two concept and little bit of hands-on with R so that students, it can go to students finally who can make use of it and show their abilities when they go for it, job interviews. I don't know in India, but in US nowadays it's very interesting. Students go there like first telephone interview, then physical interview, and then they give them the data, and then they expect them to analyze and come back and make a presentation to a group. So saying is one thing, and then showing them live and getting it done in front of them is another thing. So I hope like this was helpful in some way, and I'll be happy to be in touch again.
Definitely, sir.
May I
It
request
was
all the
really
excuse me, ma'am. I request all the
Yes,
participants
yes.
to turn their camera on so that sir could have a look at the participants too.
And moreover, we can have the pick of the day of this particular
Yes, ma'am.
session.
Yes.
So wonderful to see all the beautiful and smiling faces and very much AI creators.
Ma'am, in fact, personally, I have seen many of the videos of sir and have really learned a lot of things like indecision analytics and R. Sir, I don't use Python. I use R only.
Yeah, I was talking to ma'am on a day before yesterday. I had a code to make India's map and all I have did. So it was not happening. So she said that I'm very much comfortable on R, not on Python. So
Yeah, usually like both have their
tool
places.
has
Yeah.
their own own excellence in resolving all the issues and technical problems. Tools are too good to have both. I think Amri sir has not switched on Isha's camera. Rest all I had seen Nisha ma'am to Nitika ma'am to take the click of the same. So we are really obliged to have you from US, and I think it's a morning.
Yeah.
At US, sir.
Yeah. 10 o'clock.
So, all right. Dr. Devake, if you can be on cam, it will be great. Sir, there are the participants from 20 states.
Oh,
and
wow.
highest number is from Tamil Nadu, followed by Punjab and Bangalore.
Yeah, I have lived in India actually. Like I have worked with the companies all across actually when I was in India. Although I was based in Pune, Trivandrum, and Calcutta, but even Tamil Nadu, from Bangalore, we used to go to some places in Mysore.
Okay.
And yeah.
That's nice. Wonderful. So, Nitika, I think you have taken all the clips. Perfect. Perfect.
Okay.
We are, sir, looking for such more collaborations and looking forward to have your more sessions
Yeah, sure.
like this
So
because
thanks very much. Yeah, I think if there are no more questions, I would say I wish you good luck, and I know there are other sessions also, right, today?
yes, piled up. Dr. Verma's session is there.
Okay.
Sir, many participants are asking for your email ID. Can I share the same that I shared a message with you? brbi@umass.edu.
umassd.edu.
Okay, sir, I'll share it.
Yeah. And if you want, like, you can get connected on LinkedIn or even my YouTube channel. Sometimes if you have a specific question related to something, then that's the best place, because all the questions get sometimes already the answers are there. I may have answered some of the questions already there. So thanks very much for this opportunity, and I wish you good luck. Hope to see you
Thank you so
again.
much,
So
sir.
much. Thank you. So
Thank
much.
you for such a wonderful practical session also. Thank you, sir.
Thanks.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you so much. Bye-bye, sir. Thank you. Nisha ma'am, I think Dr. Verma has joined us.
Yes, I am there, ma'am. Good evening.
Oh, good evening. Very good evening. Welcome on board, sir.
Thank you. Thank you very
Welcome,
much.
sir.
Good to
Thank
see
you.
you. Good to see you.
Thank you.
Ma'am, can we give 5 minutes break to all, or we should start it right now?
We can start. I think sir is there. We can start.
In online, you have opportunities to take break in between.
Yes.
Yeah, bio
There's
break
no
I
check
used
on
to
break. So
have, but that was very much hands-on experience. I think all are very much refreshed with how to use R. Sir has worked on supply chain using R, Dr. Rai. So I think no one will be feeling to have a bio break. So we can you can raise hands if you want in the chat, in the reaction. We can see if you want to have bio break. You can raise hands, so from that we can make out.
Ma'am, participants
Everyone
are saying
saying
to continue.
not required, not. They are eager to learn from Verma sir.
Yes.
So we can
Okay,
start.
ma'am. I should first introduce sir to all. So good evening, sir. It is my very privilege to introduce Dr. Rajesh Verma, Professor and Senior Dean at Mittal School of Business, lovely professional university, which is NB accredited and ranked 38th in NIRF. At LPU, Sir leads both academic and administrative functions of the business school with great distinction. Dr. Verma holds a PhD in marketing from Himachal Pradesh University and has completed the executive programs in data-driven product management from IIM Lucknow. He is also widely certified design thinking practitioner and has been honored with several prestigious recognitions, including UGC fellowships, UKRI Award, DST funding, ICSSR grant, and Research Appreciation Award by HRD Minister of India. With more than 20 years of experience in teaching, research, and consulting, Dr. Verma has made impactful contributions to the field of business model, strategic management, and political marketing. He has published over 60 research papers, 20 case studies, and 7 books, and has successfully guided 7 PhD and 10 MPhil scholars. The number might have increased right now. I have some old data, sir. Beyond academia, he has conducted numerous training programs and workshops on design thinking, brand building, selling skills, changing business models, and customer orientation, benefiting both corporate professionals and academics. As a regular speaker at national and international conference, Dr. Verma has presented India across countries, including UK, Spain, Portugal, Russia, Dubai, etc. with rich academic experience, research contribution, and global exposure. Dr. Verma exemplifies excellence in business, education, and leadership. We are delighted to have you, sir, and I warmly invite to address the participants. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you. Thank you for this wonderful introduction, and I hope I'll be able to live up to this introduction. I'm sorry, my throat is a little bad because of cold, but then I hope I am very clear and audible to everyone.
Yes,
But
sir.
it may
You are very
sound
much
little
clear
louder, it
and
might
audible.
Very
sound
much
little.
audible, sir.
Thank you. So I'll just share my screen and I think screen is visible.
Yes, sir.
Right. So thank you very much for giving me this as an opportunity to interact with, I think Dr. Savita was just mentioning that we have participants from 20 states. So I think what can be better than interacting with such an learned audience. So thank you very much for providing me this opportunity. And I think what I'll try and do today is I'll talk on two fronts, two parts. The first part may not be that relevant to the topic here, but it makes sense because I'll tell why. And then I'll talk about the AI in education, right? So that's what my plan is. And I'll try to make it very, very simple. I'm not very technical person. I don't have an engineering background, right? So I'm a management teacher. I don't have any technical background, so I'll not make it technical for anyone. Though I think the workshop is going on very well. I've been attending only on the day of inauguration. I was not available because I was traveling. But yesterday I attended both these sessions, and today also I attended this session, complete session. And that's one thing which I love, because I love to learn more than speaking more. If I don't learn, I would not be able to speak, right? So that's the point. So learning is more important. I hope Savita ma'am gives me a participation certificate also. So I think the only expectation I would have from this group is that be a clean slate. Why I'm saying this is because you know that nobody can write on a written slate, right? So it's true for both me and you. You might have an opinion, I might have an opinion. We might differ with each other, and that's what learned peoples do. We differ with each other on logics, but then we don't judge each other based upon what we discuss. So that's the only expectation I have from this group, except for I'm sure when you are attending this session at this time, it indicates the learning attitude for sure. So I'm sure you are here for learning, and will make some sense. But I'll present my point of view. You might differ with some of them. You can leave those aside. You might agree. You can continue with that. So that's what is the expectation. But just to start and warm up, how many of us wanted to become teachers when we were in school or colleges? You may not answer this, even if you want to answer it, because this is a very socially uncomfortable question. You are in a profession, and the research says that more than 75% of the people in the teaching profession are not by choice in the teaching profession. So this question is only to introspect and not to answer. Similarly, there's another question which might be again uncomfortable, but then second question is, how many of us would want our children to become teachers? So again, I'm not looking for an answer here. It's only you to think about it. In India, probably most of us don't think about making our kids as teachers, right? So most of us did not join the profession because we wanted to do that. and most of us would not like to make our kids teachers. And the third question, as a educationists or as being professors or teachers in this profession, how many of us actively promote teaching as a profession during career counseling sessions? I would have seen many schools, colleges, would have visited there. All professions are being promoted, but I don't see teaching as a profession being promoted anywhere. Right? There are bearing few examples where some of them would promote it, but then otherwise teaching as a profession is not being promoted in most of the cases, right? So, and the data also says that if you have given an India Today data, which says 93% Indian students aged between 14 to this consider only 7 career options. And you can look, and you would agree to that, right? Because engineering and medicine is the topmost. Accounts and finance, computers, management, design, law, and even the rest of the students probably would not know career options beyond this. Though we might have 250 plus career options across 40 different domains, but then hardly anybody would know about these domains, nor none of us have been talking much about those domains, right? So that's the irony, that the teaching profession does not feature in these 7 career options. So who is responsible, right? And the answer is very clear, that we teachers ourselves are responsible for this. You might differ here. I know, because there is not only a single reason for anything going wrong. It might be the government initiatives, it might be the societal issues, it might be others. But those all things are not in my control. I am a teacher. The only thing I can control is myself, right? So that's why I'm saying we teachers are to be blamed for this. And that's the reason, probably, if you look at this statement, which is in NEP on page 4, para 8, it says the teachers must be at the center of the fundamental reforms in the education system. The new education policy must help re-establish teachers. You can read the word. It is re-establish teachers at all levels as the most respected and essential members of a society, because they truly shape our next generation, so and so, right? But the word written is re-establish, which means earlier probably this challenge was not there, right? So what is the need to re-establish them, right? So question is, again, who is responsible? So I'll just share a small story. I hope you know Dhanananda, right? One of the kings, right? And he once insulted a teacher who was Acharya Chanakya, right? 2,300 years ago, probably. And he was the person who was an institution builder, and also made Takshila what Takshila is today, university, right? Takshila University, you know, everybody knows about it, right? And he is the man, because he was insulted, and he said that probably I can make kings. And that's how he mentored Chandragupta Maurya, who actually, the reigns of Dhanananda was actually, after that, there was no king from that particular reigns, right? So that's the power of teacher India has seen, right? And today, the national education policy of the country has to say that we need to re-establish ourselves. And the reason for that is that we as a teachers, I'm not saying you as a teachers, but we as a teachers, you would have heard these narratives here and there, right? The narratives are, teaching is good for girls, we can manage home and work together. Job kahin aur nahi mila, to teaching join kar li. I didn't get job anywhere else, so probably we came to the teaching. Or there are a lot of holidays, summer holidays. Many of the things are not true now, right? But still the perception says that, right? It's a convenient job. There's a lot of pressure in the industry. And that's the reason I joined teaching. There are no targets, right? So it's a peaceful job, safe, and there's nothing much to do, nothing much to travel. And you don't have to do much. The same syllabus for many years. So once you know accounting, making how to make a balance sheet, every year you have to make the same balance sheet in the class. So that's what the present narratives are going on around. And who is doing it? Teachers, right? Probably who amongst us only. They are doing all these narratives. We are all doing these narratives. And probably that's the reason why the teaching profession needs that statement that it needs to reestablish, right? And that was the first part of it, right? I said I'll start with a part which is essentially very, very important for us as a teachers, right? Then I'll come to the second part of it. But then the first part, I'm sure I was able to set the context, right? I just wanted to create an perspective that why do we need to learn? Why do we need to change? Right? And who is going to change these narratives, right? It's only we have to change these narratives, right? Through our words, through our actions, through everything, right? But let me give you one World Economic Forum report, though the new report has also come, but I am only talking about 2025 as of now. They're talking about 2030 also now. It says 50% of all employees will need reskilling by 2025. So you can imagine what would happen after this. But they are saying 50% of all employees will need reskilling by 2025. And education is included in that, right? So 50% of our teachers, probably they are saying, would need reskilling. Though I assume in teaching, it is very, very high percentage where we all need to reskill ourselves, right? And what skills are they talking of? So I'll not talk of all the skills which they talk of, but if I give you just an idea, these are the top 10 skills they were talking of. And don't read all these skills, right? Because I'm just trying to using it as a perspective. The only skill I am highlighting here is technology use and development, right? So 4 categories of skills they've said, but in that 4 categories of skill, they are saying technology use and development, and further technology use, monitoring and control. Because the second part of it, which is technology design and programming, probably I believe most of us sitting here are not part of it, right? I'm not here to design technology. I'm not here to develop codes. I'm not here to do a lot of things, right? Many of you probably from computer applications or CSC or engineering background might be doing it. But most of us, I believe, are not here to design or develop technology. So for us, technology use is of primary focus, right? So that's again a context. Why are we here and why are we talking about AI? Because they said 50% of the employees need reskilling. And I said in education, more than 50% people would need reskilling. And second skills, what skills they are talking of? They are talking of technology use and development. In that, I am saying technology use is more important for people who are part of this gathering today, I believe, or as a management teacher, I believe that's more important for me. So if I look at, let us say, I'll give you one small demo here. This is Teachable Machine by Google, right? And let us say, I'm sure you are able to see the screen, right? So somebody should confirm you are able to see the screen. Yes, okay. So in this screen, let us say this is Teachable Machine. I'll tell you why and how we are using it. But let us get started. There are different projects here. And again, trust me, I am not giving you anything technical. Nor I am a technical person. You all would be able to do it. This is an image project. This is an audio project, and this is a pose project, right? So they are all different categories of project. Let us do image project, right? Now there are 2 class written here. Let us say in class 1, I type, this is Rajesh Verma. And in class 2, I'll write a product maybe, right? Now, if I go to the class 1, I want to add some images, right? And I'll add my own image because it is Rajesh Verma. So I'll hold it to record and I'll change my face and everything so that it can capture me from all angle. And you can see how fast it is capturing the images, right? There is a line going up, 252, 270, 80, 300 plus images it has been capturing, right? So it captured all the images of Rajesh Verma, right? Now in second, I go and I move away from this place and maybe I'll try with this, though I've not experimented with this earlier, but I'm experimenting here only. I'll go to the second and I'll hold it to record and I'll change the direction maybe. Right, and again, you can see how many images it is clicking, right? What kind of images it is clicking, right? So I stop here. Now, the second part of this is train the model. You can see here, this is the training model. So let me click and train the model. It will take some time preparing the training data. You can look at how many images, right? 266 images of product and probably 337 image of mine it has captured. So it is now training the model, right? So it is training the model, and I'm sure it would train in next 2-3 minutes. Sorry, seconds. It has trained the model. Now you look at the output part here, output, right? If I am sitting here, it is saying it is Rajesh Verma. Now I can move around. I open up my, I've removed my specs also. I can change anywhere, right? In all direction, it can still identify me as Rajesh Verma. I move out from this place and I give it the product, it would say product, right? And I keep on moving the product anywhere, it will keep on giving me the product. I sit here with the product in my hand, it will get confused. It is talking about both, right? So, see, it is getting confused, which means it has clear understanding of this image as Rajesh Verma and probably this image as product. I hope you got it, right? I am again repeating it. This is a machine language. This is a teachable machine. I am teaching this machine. And this is a project which I have taken is an image-based project, right? So I created, you can add more classes to it. You add a class here, you add mobile phone to it probably. Here, hold to record the mobile and me together, right? This is how it would look at it. It's again captured 136 samples. You train the model again, right? Probably me and phone are together, so it will get confused with this now, right? It is training the model again. So you can add more classes to it. Any classes you can add, keep on adding more classes to it. It will keep on training, right? So you can look at the speed of capturing the image, and the more 360-degree image you give it to it, the more clearer it would be with the image, right? So the wonderful project it would create for you. Now you can look at, again, it is training. And you see, I am sitting there. So it is Rajesh Verma. I move out of this. I show the product. It is showing, look at the output portion, right? I hope you are looking at the output portion. This is the output portion below this image. It is giving, right? And if I use this phone together, now look at this. It is saying class 3. I remove this, it goes to Rajesh Verma. I do this, it is going to class 3, which is the third image. So I have trained this model, right? You can understand this, that I have trained this model, right? Now you can go here, export the model. Now you will find the same machine language which the previous speaker was talking of. I don't understand it, to be honest. I don't know what to do with this, right? So I can copy it. I can go to some place where machine language works. I'll paste it there. It becomes part of my project, right? But I'm just trying to tell you, I don't understand this coding. I don't understand anything about this, though I've done a executive program on product management, so I understand Python some bit. But then I'm just trying that even if I don't understand it, I don't understand zero about it, right? So I can use it. So I'm sure you got it, right? I'm again saying, you look at this. This is my image. So it is showing Rajesh Verma. I'm showing this and moving aside, it would show the product. I am using the third, right? But if I use all three together, it will start getting confused, right? You can see it is trying to talk about product 2 also, right? So it is getting confused, right? So that's how. Now the question is, this is a teachable machine, right? Let me go back. So this is what I showed you. So I can do an audio project. I can use different voices, right? I can use a voice of a ball jump doing, right? Whatever I want to do, or a product, right? But then let us say, what is the question is, how do I use it, right? What do I use it for? Now that depends upon what kind of teacher you are, I am a marketing teacher, right? And the project which I used it for was customer emotion recognition using Google Teachable Machine. Customer emotion recognition, right? There was 3 classes you saw in the teaching machine, 3, 2, 4, 5. There can be n number of classes. Now I can capture image of happy faces, everybody smiling, right? So I would capture around lakhs of images of 50 different people smiling, right? Different right and left, they're smiling. I can then click people who are sad. I can click people of images who are surprised, right? And now I may not be able to click so many pictures, but they might be available also, right? So you download all happy faces from Google, you teach this machine what happy faces look like, right? So I want to recognize the customer's emotion. Let us say the customer comes in front of me. There is already a camera behind me when I'm talking to the customer, and it is capturing the face of the customer. And my machine, when I'm talking to the customer, would tell me that what kind of mood the customer is having right now, right? So that was the project we used it for. Build a model to classify consumer facial expressions to understand customer emotion. Very simple, right? This is the use of it. So I can use it. You can classify sounds, you can classify images, you can classify paintings based upon their ages, right? You can classify paintings based upon the oil it used or the colors it uses. So it's your creativity to see now what you can make this machine do, right? And the steps were simple. Collect the images, videos of different consumer emotions, right? And they can be images also. Train the model the way I trained it now. Test and evaluate the model accuracy. The way I was testing it, right? I was showing it to you. If I am there, will it get confused? If it is getting confused, I need to give more images, more clarity on images, right? So I keep on adding more images and discuss the business application, right? So the outcome is very simple. AI basics, consumer sentiment analysis. I can, from facial expression, I can make out whether this consumer today is in a happy mood, in a sad mood, in a questionable mood, surprised mood, right? I can come to know that. So that's a very, very simple application of this teachable machine. It can have a big application because you have to copy that code. You have to go in your project, which might be in R, which might be in other languages. You can use it. But I'm just giving because I am a person who probably would not be able to preach anything which I have not done, right? So I can only talk about this basic thing which I have used it for. And probably that's what you can all start, and we can all start trying it, right? So that's the only thing I'm talking of. I hope I have made sense from this one example, right? Now, the second part of it, the way I see it is, today, every Tom, Dick, and Harry is talking about AI. People like me also, right? Who doesn't have that technology background. So the situation is same as that of, I hope you have read this story, right? All of you have heard this story of the elephant, right? Blind men were approaching an elephant, and the person who touched the stomach thought it's a big rock. Somebody who touched the leg thought it's a big pillar. Somebody who touched the tail assumed it to be a snake, right? So somebody who touched the ears thought of it a big fan kind of a thing, right? So the same thing is happening today. Everyone is trying to explain and understand AI. But let us not be like the blind men, right? So I'm again saying, with the limited knowledge, my only purpose is to use AI. And what for? For my own learning and for my students' learning, right? That's the only purpose as of now I have with the AI, and that's what I want to understand AI for. So let us not actually become an expert of it. Let us not try to confuse everyone around. So that's the only reason I'm saying. And this is a narrative. You see, the companies which are actually in AI products, they would like to project a picture that if we don't understand AI, probably this is an end of the world for us, because they ultimately have to sell their product, right? So AI is required. Nobody is denying it. We have to understand it, right? But then making such a big, huge mole out of it, probably that's what we have to be cautious about. So the example I showed, the demo I showed is fine, right? I don't understand what is behind it. But for me, the application is very clear. I have to use it in the research. I have to use it for the student project, and I can use that. That's more than enough. And that's give my student a good idea on how do we use this for, right? So I'll have few questions now, not for you, but then this is for general brainstorming. And I'm hope all of you are with me. And I'll try and wind up within next 1 hour. That's the time given to me. So just be very careful about what is that I'm saying. These presentation, the slides, I'll give it to you. You can use it wherever you want. And that's the reason some of the slides you'll find slightly overwritten, so that the information that goes to you, you can understand that clearly, but I'll not read out the slides for sure. So if you understand this, image clearly, you would see that this is a 2x2 matrix, right? So this is present here, right? This is something is present here, and this is future. This is what talking about present and future coming up. This is risk and this is opportunity. And you know how to see the grid, right? If I want to see what is the present risk associated with it, this is the column to be seen, right? How do we stop kids from cheating? This is the biggest discussion point. And we believe that the students probably are doing blunder by using ChatGPT or any other source of AI, whichever they are using, right? But then the second part, which is an opportunity, how can we use AI tools to improve education right now? How can I use AI tool to teach my student a concept better than I was teaching last year, right? Or maybe previous month. Similarly, in future, what we are worried about is, will AI replace teachers? Again, a very big point of debate and discussion. Or an opportunity can be seen as, how can we rethink education in the age of AI? AI is there to stay, right? So I have to think about what shape education would talk about AI. So I'll discuss these 4 quadrants a bit with you and with examples. So if I move on to the first quadrant, which is present, and what is the risk associated? How do we stop cheating? And this, I believe, is a very fear-based reaction. Fear-based reaction, right? And I need teachers to have a perspective shift. Instead of banning the tool, teach students how to use them. Or instead of saying, don't use ChatGPT for my assignment, ask them to use ChatGPT to make the assignment better, right? So that's the perspective, so that's the mind shift we need, right? We try to ban mobile phones, we try to ban TV, we try to ban internet, right? Nothing probably would happen. It would keep on going. We'll have to change ourselves, right? So that's the perspective required. An example is AI powered personalized assessment. For example, Edulastic we can use. It would give you unique questions for each student based upon their performance levels, right? So it changes question based upon the performance level. If the first question is answered, different higher level question would come, right? Similarly, AI writing assistant, draftback, or Brisk, teachers can see the entire evolution of student writing. Let us say a Word document is submitted to you. You go to Brisk, you upload that document, it would give you whether it is entirely ChatGPT or student has ChatGPT, then he changed something in it, then he added more perspective to it, then did he go to some other AI tool, right? So it will give you the entire evolution, how student has evolved. So the perspective is to make him write better, right? So if he's using the tools to write better, that's fine, right? Or we can use AI proctoring tools or AI-based plagiarism detectors. Most of you are researchers here, so Turnitin probably all of you use. Or AI-enhanced question design. So the goal is not to catch the student cheating, right? It is to create a learning environment which is more engaging, personalized, right? So that cheating becomes irrelevant. Let us say, when I did my MBA, right? We went from a government college to an MBA program. And the first year, first semester, the exam was that go out, use any book you want, use whatever material you want, and you write an answer. And that was too surprising for us, right? There is an exam and they are saying use anything you want, go to library, go to your room, hostel, but after 3 hours, come back with a sheet and give us the answer submitted. That's known as open book exam, right? Most of you would have experimented it. It's an open book exam. Because the answer is technical in nature, critical in nature, you'll have to analyze it. Books would give you an understanding. They cannot analyze the problem I have given to you. So you open up any book. So same is today. I have to learn how do I redraft my assignment questions. I'll share that with you later. And then make student do it. So look at this brisk teaching, right? Which I was just talking of. And this, if you see here, you would find there is an inspect writing, right? This is free. And I've uploaded one document here. And if you go on inspect writing, it would actually create, let us see if I have, I'm sure screen is working for you. Risk writing. This is free tools for the teachers, right? So probably it would have given me, it works, okay. So if you see, that's the brisk writing, right? Now, inspect writing, it has not only available on Google Docs. So I have not uploaded Google Docs. That's why it's saying. So I've done in one document, but it will tell you which AI platform student has used, how many times has he iterated it, how many times he has changed on its own, right? So you can actually come to know whether the student has worked hard on it or not, or it is straight away a ChatGPT answer. Similarly, you can use it to create, right, things. Let us say, for example, if I can create a quiz, right? I can create a quiz here and you write what the quiz would be required, right? And this is about for grade, you can choose university, right? We are into colleges. So what kind of questions is required? What kind of answers are required? So, right. So it is, let us say I want to create a quiz on AI for educators. And let me give only one question, right? Biscuit. So it will create a quiz for you. Look at this now. It's a Google form. It will create a new quiz for you. And there is one question. And the one question is on which of the following best describes how AI tools like this can impact educators' workload. In a second, it would create a quiz which has 50 questions, 100 questions, multiple choice, long answer choice. Now, only thing you have to do is you have to publish it and share the link with your students, and they need to respond it. And it is online, so you can get the responses also online. So just a second, right? So that's what is the magic of AI. And you can use it n number of times. It is now added to my Chrome. You can see here, this portion you can see, it is added to my Chrome server. And anytime I want to do something, I will use it and create something. And look at kind of things it can create. Lesson plans, right? Presentations. So there are a lot of things which it can create. So that's the second demo probably you can see, and I use it, right? So I told you, I'll talk only about the things I use to make myself comfortable or my students comfortable. I'll use those things only, right? So this is your simplest of the example, and you can see how many features it have. It can boost student activities, different activities. It can change levels, level mean. Let us say if I have created a quiz for BBA, but now I want to do, I'm teaching marketing in BBA also, I'm teaching marketing for MBA also. So I want to change the level. So I'll put the document into this and I'll ask change the level from BBA to MBA, and it would change the level also, right? So that's the brisk, right? I hope all of you got this, right? So this is very, very simple. It would keep on creating. You saw it, it created immediately, right? Within a second, it has created that quiz. So now, earlier, we were taking a lot of time on creating all these things. But now it can be created within fraction of second and can be shared with the student in fraction of seconds, right? That's the beauty I like more about AI because it is making my life comfortable. I don't have to spend much of the time. I only have to spend time on figuring out what is best for my kids, right? What is best for bringing out the learning outcomes for this course, right? So that's what I have to think of. But rest of the part, actually, the AI is doing for me, right? So Google Teachable Machine is doing, Brisk Teaching is doing, some other platforms are doing, but they have been doing it, right? So now the second question is, how can I use AI to improve education? So that was one I showed you. You can create quiz, right? So it can improve your education. This is present. I'm not talking about future as of now, right? Present opportunity, how to improve. So this is a growth mindset approach. How to stop kids from cheating is a fear mindset. Fear mindset, right? This is a growth mindset. So now in this growth mindset, the perspective shift is we have to embrace AI. I have to learn. I'm attending sessions since yesterday because I want to learn from the industry people how they are doing it. I want to reduce my workload, so I have to learn more, right? I have to make my lessons more engaging. I want student to give my feedback better, so I want to make it more better. So I can use these tools which are mentioned here. Some of them might be paid, but whatever work I need, I can do it entirely with the free version of these, right? So I need not pay anything anywhere, right? So you have, how do I improve? Making presentations, right? Canva is one of help you can design presentations, right? In the first go, but then if you can keep on giving good commands, it will keep on giving you better results, right? So all this is probably an opportunity. The goal of teacher is to focus more on mentorship and creativity, right? Repetitive tasks to be managed by all. Let's say one repetitive task which all of you must be doing is grading the assignment, right? And I think if you can give an ideal questions to the AI, that this is what the ideal questions are. And towards the end, I'll give you a link also where you can do that grading also part. You upload the answer sheets of the kids and it will give you the marks. But you will have to tell that this is what I'm expecting as an answer. If the student answers this much, this is one. So you have to make an effort in the beginning, but then you can give him 100, 200 answer sheets. It will do it for you in a minute's time, right? So that's how I can save my time on evaluation, right? Even we teachers are being criticized more that the evaluation we do is not the right evaluation, right? We keep on giving ticks and then we don't give any remarks, and then probably, but this will give you remarks also, that because you have not written here, so this much of the marks have been deducted, right? So I have to use it, right? So look at this now, Google AI Studio. Probably if you go on this studio, I'm again saying, how do I make my life comfortable, right? Go on this Google Studio and let us say native image generation. You can use any feature. There are a lot of features. You experiment with it. Nothing is required. No teacher is required to teach you anything, right? None of us, people like me, are required to come and talk to you, right? This is so easy to do, right? Let us say native image generation. Go here and I write, show me an image of teacher teaching AI in class. You run it. Might take some time because when you are online, look at this now, right? An image is created within a fraction of a second. So it is an English teacher. Use image of an Indian teacher. Why should I show a foreign teacher, right? Look at this now. So what is that I'll use it for? Let us say I'm making presentation, right? in presentation, I need images. How did we search images earlier? Go to Google, write Indian teacher teaching in class, then search image, and I don't get image, right? In this image, I can keep on asking it to change till I get the right image based upon my content. If I want to say, okay, I want school students to be seated there, so it will make school students sitting there, right? So it will keep on changing the image for you. Time and again, it would keep on changing image for you. And you'll get an image exactly what you want for your presentation, right? I'm just giving you one feature. Google AI Studio, I just gave you one feature of creating. I'm so so it is just creating an image for you, right? Or go to another option here, which is stream. Now, stream would ask you whether you would like to talk, whether you would like to use webcam, or whether you like to share the screen. So let us, if I share the screen and I use one, let us say Excel sheet, let us say, and I share it. Right? I go back here. Can you give me an year-on-year growth in admissions?
Sure. To calculate the year-on-year growth in admissions, I'll need to compare the admission numbers from the previous year total admissions and the year 2023 status admissions columns. Which specific programs would you like to compare?
I want to compare all programs.
All right. For the Diploma in Business Administration, the growth from the previous year to 2023 is 1.75%. For the integrated BBA MBA program, the growth is 150%.
Can you let me know how you are calculating the growth?
I'm calculating the growth by subtracting the previous year's admissions from the current year's admissions, then dividing that difference by the previous year's admissions, and finally multiplying the...
I still did not understand. Can you tell me which columns have you used?
I've used the total admissions previous year and the year 2023 status admissions columns to calculate the growth for each program.
Thank you. So I hope all of you saw this, that probably I am using stream, right? Now, to teach something in the class. I want to use Excel for teaching accounting, right? So I am not teaching accounting. The student does not understand what to do, right? So this will give you a step-by-step step of how to do it. And simultaneously, you can go to the Excel sheet and work on those columns, which is saying, right? So it is as easy as asking a tuition teacher, right? I can use it in the class to demonstrate how do I in front of you, I asked Google AI Studio, right, stream version, to please let me know which formula you are using, which columns you are using, right? So in a class, if the student asks you so many questions, you sometimes tend to get little annoyed, right? Because rest of the students are not able to then follow up quickly. But here you can ask n number of questions, right? And it will simultaneously take you to that. And it's not only on Excel. You share whatever you want. You share the screen of Canva and you tell them that I want to prepare a poster for my event. Can you help me? How do I do that? And it will take you stepwise. What should you do first? What should you do second? What should you do third? What should you do fourth? And that's the beauty of Google AI Studio. And I have only talked about two things in this, right? One is creating image and another was how do you share your screen. But there are n number of options available here which you can experiment, and all the features you can use in your teaching pedagogy. In the class, I am talking of all the things which I use in the class. You can also use these things in the class, right? That's the beauty of this. Probably that's the reason I love technology, because it has helping me improve my teaching, right? You see, my aim always has been, and this is what I talk to everyone also, that if I am N today, tomorrow I have to be n+1. So what is that I learned today, right? Before sleeping, this question is very important. Did I learn something new today, right? So that's the reason I attended the previous session. I got certain things from here, right? How do I use it in supply chain management, right? Because as a marketing professor, supply chain is part of your logistics and distribution network, right? So that's very important. It was very important for me to learn. Yesterday, there was an industry person and he was talking about marketing automation. I'm a marketing professor again, so a lot of insights for me to use it in the class. So I want only that every day I should be n+1, right? Not n. So that's the, and again, I'm repeating it. It might be at the cost of repeating it time and again, but you don't need anybody to train you on this. Only thing required is learning attitude. This AI itself would train you on a lot of things. That's only if you want to learn. Coming to the next, very, very important question. Future and risk. Will AI replace teachers? Right? And that's a very fundamental question. And I talked about that there's nothing like this. But then let us talk briefly about it here. Different eras, right, pose different threats to the teaching profession. There have been different eras and different threats. Let us say in 1440, way back, when the printed books started coming in, people said that student would not memorize now. They'll go to the books and they'll read it. So there would be a problem with the critical thinking, right? 1980, eraser came up. People said, okay, now these students would deliberately make mistakes and then they'll keep on using erasers. So they will not become conscious, right? If you don't have erasers, they would remember things. They would be very careful while writing. But if you have eraser, they'll rub it quickly, right? So this was again talked about. This is a very bad invention, should not be used. This should not be done. That should not be done, right? 1986, calculators. All mathematics professors, right? You can see the image here. This image shown here talks about that they are on strike. That calculators probably would make the mental people not think more. They'll not remember the tables. They'll not do this. They'll not do that, right? 2000, internet came in. Again, fear of misinformation. 2010, smartphones. Students are distracted. They're not learning. They're not doing this, right? And then came 2020, global health crisis, sudden shift to remote learning. We were not trained in remote teaching. We were not using Google Meet earlier. We were not using Zoom earlier. Suddenly there was a problem. People said now the teaching is dead. Most of the things would shift to online platforms. A lot of online platforms made money out of it. But today you see again, we are back onto the normal teaching. But though sessions like this, because you cannot talk to hundreds of people from 20 different states. So this is a mode of communication with such a large audience sitting at distance place. But then otherwise we were back. What does it indicate is, and today AI, fear of unknown, right? We believe that probably AI would replace us. So what I've been seeing is that humans, and specifically teachers, are one of the most intelligent species on this earth. And probably there is nothing which can replace them. But the only condition is that we are trying to understand and developing and are one step ahead of that technology, right? That's what the point is. Look at this news. Caught red-handed using AI, student demands tuition fee refund, right? Second, how ChatGPT and other AI tools are changing the teaching profession. This is all news of July. I have not taken previous news. Letting AI think for us will destroy the purpose of education. Americans split over use of AI in schools. Deep uncertainty about education's future. India's education system is about to change forever thanks to AI. So look at the discussion going around. And the only thing we have to be sure about is that AI is here and I have to be one step ahead of it. I need to understand it. and there is nothing which can replace myself, right? And that's what will AI replace the teachers, right? And continuing with that, same thing which I'm continuing, what AI will do, to what AI will let teachers do better, right? So that's the point. I was teaching earlier emotions without technology. Now I am using teachable machine, right, to talk about emotions. So I'm teaching emotions understanding better than what I was doing maybe last year. So the perspective shift is that AI would not replace us, right? But it would reinvent how to teach. Calculators never replaced math teachers. And there is a simple saying, right? Earlier there was, let us say in US roads or everywhere, there was Ghoda Gadi, right? And a lot of people were required to clean the horse dung, lead jisko kehte hain, right? A lot of people were employed to clean the roads, right, for the horse dung. When the automobile came, they went on the strike that they will replace our jobs. But look at the automobile sector, only the people who were actually employed in removing the horse dung from the street were very few. But automobile industry created enormous jobs for so many people. So this is an evolution. Everything which comes in would create that fear of displacement, but it would always be for better of something, right? So AI won't replace great teachers, let me tell you. It will only replace routine processes and average teachers who are not ready to upgrade themselves, who are not ready to learn this technology. They would definitely be replaced, right? So example is Khanmingo, you can use Canva, I already talked about. So it's a tool. AI can never be a teacher, right? But teacher who uses AI will replace the people who don't use AI for sure, right? So that's the important part of it. And I'll give you again World Economic Forum, that report. This is now report 2030, right? Earlier I used report 2025. These are the largest growing and declining jobs. And you will be happy to see that teaching actually features on the 30th rank, university and higher education teachers. It is in the top largest growing jobs. The green part, if you see here, this is the top largest growing jobs. And these are the top largest declining jobs. So teaching again is featured. Those secondary school teacher is also mentioned here, but we are generally from higher education. So it is on the 13th number, and it is saying that we would be in the top largest growing jobs by 2030. So that's the positive part of it, right? And I have told you that academicians probably are far ahead of all this. We create this technology, right? We are the one who are teaching the people who are creating this technology. So how can we be left behind, right? So that's the important part of it. How we can rethink education in the age of AI, the last part of it, right? This is future opportunity. Now that's the most visionary quadrant. We will have to redefine the learning itself, from content delivery to skill development, from rote learning, rata marna, to critical thinking, creativity, problem. Why should we remember table, or why should we remember formula? We should know the application of formula. That's what there is though I told you that there can be a different viewpoint on every perspective, right? But I have to solve a problem. To solve that problem, the important part is not that I need to remember that formula. I need to understand how do I and where do I imply this formula. So that's more important for problem solving, right? So that's where we'll have to redefine. So assessment of the student, how do we do it? Curriculum, right? Pedagogy. I told there are some of the slides where I've given content, but you can read it at your own time, later stages, right? So instead of banning AI in exams, we can redesign the exams. Let us say this is Socratic. This is an AI. Let us go on this. Let us see if I can do something here with you. If it works. Okay, it is loading. So let us go on quiz. And quiz for educators. And let us say it is I launch it. I'm starting the activity. I am waiting the students to join. I want to invite the students. Can you scan this code, please, and answer this question? Can you scan this code? QR code. You can go on Google and that image, you can scan it. I am also scanning it. Okay. Nisha has already joined. So you can write your name. I am also joining. Rajesh has joined. Done. And I'm answering the question and I've submitted the answer. And you can see on the screen, right? You can see on the screen that the answers are coming. Please do it. Don't worry about right and wrong answer. Forget about it. Right? Just give an answer to it. Right? Second, submit. And it is also telling you the right answer. Right now, you don't worry about right answer. It is giving you the right answer, right? Look at this now. How many people have joined, right? And it is giving you answers. Now, why cannot you do this quiz in the class immediately and you get an immediate feedback? Student is also getting an immediate feedback. He knows how many right, how many wrong, and the dashboard is screen. Look at, see, everybody is doing it, right? You are doing it. You are engaged in this. I want to hide names. I can hide names, right? Look at, see, I have hidden the names, right? I want to show the responses. I want to show the results. So I'm showing it. Look at the number of people. 22 have joined. Though 100 of you are sitting here, all could have joined in this activity immediately. You could have scanned it and would have done it. But the response one, it is 86%, 38%, 76%, right? So now look, the purpose is not to see whether right answers or wrong answers are there, right? The purpose is, can you do it in fraction of seconds? You have done it, right? The only thing you have used is, I am pausing the activity. I am cancel it. I am finishing the activity, finish it, right? And I can email the results to the students, right? This is manual grading. I am not doing any manual grading, but I can export the results. I can email the results to the students immediately, and this is free, right? And the best part is, let me just try, see if I can see that where it is. This live results. I don't have any live results now. This is, let us say, this is what the first is, right? I am only using one. So let us say I have to create a quiz. I went to a quiz. I want to add a quiz, right? Now, this is the column here. I add quiz. What kind of quiz do I want? Do I want to copy and paste question, right? Or do I want to import quiz? Do I want to generate questions? Or do I want a blank quiz? Let us say I want to generate quiz, right? It would help you generate quiz also. What is the question you want to generate? I want to generate, let us say, on marketing management, right? I want to do it multiple choice, generate explanations also. I want 5 questions, right? And I want to generate it, right? It might take some time because when things are online, it gets slower. Let us, this is the question they have created, right? And I am now saying add all questions. See, it has created online quiz, right? Untitled, I write marketing quiz, right? I save and exit this quiz. This is a marketing quiz created. I open this marketing quiz, right? I want to launch it. I go to the marketing quiz. I launch it again. And probably I want to invite students. I'll invite you again all. you can again click it, and within a fraction of seconds, second quiz also starts going on. I'm not saying that create quiz in the class. I'm saying you can create quiz at home, well thought of quiz. What is that you want to ask? And you can start answering and the kids can do it in the class immediately, right? That's the power. And many of you have started now answering it also, right? Good. Thank you very much. But I'm closing it. That's not the purpose right now. Right now, the purpose is only to share with you that how can you use it. I have been using it extensively in the class. Leave it. So I'll go back to the PPT, right? So that's where I was, right? So this is where I was. So you can do n number of things on Socratic now, again free, right? So, and you see, I did it in front of you only. How much time does it take? You can think of. So if I want to make a well thought of quiz, because I need to tell in marketing management, I only want to make a quiz on core concepts and I want to make it for BBA. That's how I want to go about it. So what is the skill? Skill is asking the right question, right? Let us say you as a consumer went to a shopkeeper and you asked for a Fevikwik, 5 rupees Fevikwik, right? He gives you the Fevikwik. You come back, right? Neither you are satisfied nor you are dissatisfied. You asked for a Fevikwik, he gave you Fevikwik. That's he gave you a Fevikwik, right? That's the only thing that has happened, right? Nothing. So there's no problem.
રૂપિયા ખરા જોર લાવજો એ બંધ આ કરી મે બચ્ચે કીધું બંધ કરી કેસે ચાલુ પડી જશે એ બે હાથ ચૌકો બોલતા
Can you
Sir, you got muted. Sir, please, you got muted. Sir, please unmute.
Yeah, I unmuted myself. Thank you very much. I think the wife is angry because the person eating time, dinner time is there. So I was just saying that probably you went to the shop, you asked for Fevikwik, the shopkeeper gave you Fevikwik. There is nothing wrong in it, right? But assume a second situation. You went to the shop, you asked for Fevikwik, and the shopkeeper did not give you Fevikwik but asked you a question. Sir, why do you need Fevikwik? You might feel annoyed. I'm asking for a Fevikwik, 5 rupees. You should give me Fevikwik, right? But let us say your answer is, my window pane is broken, glass, and I want to use Fevikwik to repair my glass. And the shopkeeper tells you, sir, there is another product by Fevicol, which you use on the glass. It will take shape of a glass and nobody would come to know that the glass is broken. Fevikwik would actually give a mark in between. I am sure as a consumer, you would be more satisfied with this solution. So what made the difference? In first case, the shopkeeper did not ask you. In the second case, shopkeeper asked you. So that is the beauty of asking right question, right? And what I mean to say here is that when you assess student, we do a lot of, so I'm not making you do it here, don't worry. Assessment is one of the important part of student learning and teaching, right? So if I ask you to design a question for a course you taught in the previous term or whatever course you are teaching now, I'm sure you can quickly think of a question and you can write down the question. Then again, I ask you to do it for using an AI tool, right? So you can again ask ChatGPT to create a question on marketing management, for example. But the problem is in between, we forgot about the revised Bloom's taxonomy. I'm sure all of you know this. I am not going into this. But in higher education, the major focus is on higher order thinking skills and not on remembering and understanding. And creating a question of higher order thinking skill is very difficult. Most of the time we ask student, what is marketing? How does this happen? What does happen, right? So we actually run around the lower order skills, which are understanding and remembering largely. But the AI tool can help you design a question which is of higher order thinking skills. But the question which you might have thought now in your mind, you have to think whether there was clear purpose, specific task, aligned to learning outcome, Bloom's level, marks was clear or not, difficulty level was clear or not, relevant context was there or not, language is clear or not, structure is okay or not, complete information is given or not. So when we frame question, we do not think from these perspectives. What is the learning outcome of the course? On the syllabus, we have written learning outcomes, but the question asked is of different level. Sometimes 10 marks question, but the answer is worth 5 marks only, right? So in ChatGPT, if you ask the right question, or in any other AI tool, if you ask the right question, it would probably give you a better question which you can frame on your own. So let us say you can see a prompt here. I have written a prompt. As a professor of digital marketing, design a 10 marks question for an MBA level digital marketing course to be used in end-term examination. The question should be of medium difficulty and must require student to solve a case, demonstrating the analyze level, higher order thinking skill. Ensure question is clearly aligned with key topics and learning outcomes from the course syllabus uploaded. Now you can see the quality of question that you will get. AI is something like you ask, you give it trash, it will give you much bigger trash in back. So you'll have to give it clear information, what is that you expect, and then you'll be surprised with the kind of quality it would give you. So which means now I have given a clear purpose, end-term examination, nature of it's a case study. It should align with the syllabus. I have uploaded the syllabus also, right? I have mentioned which level analyze. I have given 10 marks. I have given the difficulty level. I have given case real life application. I have said wording is direct, clear, language should be there, right? Case based, it is for end-term examination. And yes, all essential information is provided for task completion. So now the quality of question would be better. So in ChatGPT or any other language, prompt engineering is the core. How do you ask the question? Right? That's what is the importance. Now look at this. I said, act as a helpful tutor who breaks down complex subject into easy explanation. So you are a tutor who can break down a big complex into small explanation. I want you to explain the process of photosynthesis. To whom? To a 14-year student. For what? For biology exam preparation. And your answer should be 300 words written in a tone that is friendly. Now, what is important here is one, persona. Act as a helpful tutor. Second, objective. What do you want? Explain the process. Audience, 14-year-old. Context. What does the tool need to know? Boundaries, limitations, tone. So everything is being covered. It is not that every time when you write a prompt, you have to think about it. Once you know that these 5 things or 6 things are required for a good prompt, you will do it automatically every time. Practice it, you will do it every time on your own. You don't need to ask, right? So the better information you provide, clear instruction, context, and iterate and experiment. Keep on doing it time and again. There are no charges for it till you get the better result. But clear the question, better the answer. If I ask AI, what is the temperature today? Right? And AI doesn't know where I am staying. How would it answer that question? So it can give you a random answer. But if I say, what is the temperature today in Jalandhar? So then it would give me specifically what is the temperature, right? So the right question asking is very important in assessment, right? So just a quick difference between searching and prompting. Searching, you search history of Roman Empire, right? That's what you are searching, let us say. Prompting is something like asking question. Prompting is you are talking to a teacher. When you are talking to a teacher, you would not say, sir, what is, you will not directly give a topic, right? you'll always ask, "Sir, can you please explain this? Why did this happen, sir? What was the reason behind it?" So which means prompting is just like talking to the machine, talking to a human. And searching is using technology. Prompting is talking to an individual, talking to a human, talking to somebody. The way you talk, the same way you keep on talking. I hope you saw there, right? In Google AI, right? Google AI Studio, I was talking to it. I did not understand Excel. I did not understand which formula you used. So it appeared I'm talking to a teacher and teacher is explaining the concepts to me, right? So that's why the prompting is better than searching. I'll give you one more example on assessment. This is the course which I teach, MGNM 514, and the name of the course is Integrated Marketing Communication. The assignment I used to give earlier was create and execute a digital marketing plan for a local artisan. So student has to go to a local artisan, talk to him, interview him, create a digital marketing campaign and run it on the social media. Now the student can do everything on AI. He can create and execute everything based upon AI, right? So we have to change it. I said, rather than saying don't use ChatGPT, what did we say? What did I say? I said research and understand artisan. You can use AI tool, which is OTTER AI, for transcribing interviews. You record the interview and it will give you transcription so that you have the record. So for keeping the record, use an AI tool. Second, develop a customized marketing strategy. Use ChatGPT. Use Google Trends to see what trends are going on in the market regarding strategy. Step 3, content creation. Create the campaign. Use Canva. Use Grammarly for good language. Step 4, execute and launch. Use Buffer or Hotsuite, Lumen, right? Step 4, monitor through Google Analytics. Step 6, write report. Use ChatGPT for writing report. Why we have to do this is, please understand the context. Students are supposed to join industry. And industry, nobody is stopping them from using tools. So I have to train them on using the tools. So now I have made mandatory that in an assignment worth rupees 50, worth marks 50, you have to use 7 different tools. And you get marks based upon how better you can use the tools. What better outcome can be generated. So I did not say don't use ChatGPT for doing assignment. I said, please use AI. You'll have to use AI and learn AI for doing this. So that's what I wanted to say, right? Now, quickly, I'm going back a little bit. Impact of an educator. Teacher impact quickly. 35 years of a service, 60 students in class. Every year, we might teach 4 courses. Direct impact is 8,400 students. So I am impacting 8,400 students. And if I don't understand what is happening in my environment, if I cannot learn what is happening in the environment, how do I make sure the students are able to learn those things, right? So question for all of you, or question for educators, is not that whether AI will change education. It has already changed education. The question is, will we lead this change or we will chase it? And I said, educators have always been in the forefront. So we are visionaries. We'll have to remain in forefront. So we will not chase it, but mediocre teachers will have to chase it. But people sitting here, I'm sure, will not chase it. But one thing is very important to understand. This is age. Right now, you might be in the age of 30 or 20s. People like me would fall here because somewhere here. Now look at the amount of effort required for such change. A person like me, if I have to understand AI, the efforts required are very high. For a person like you who might be in 20s, the efforts required are less. Brain ability to learn very fast. So, but then people with higher age, we cannot say I will not learn this, but I'll put in more efforts to learn it. You know that kids learn languages fast, right? So that's why the efforts required are very, very less for kids, right? And brain does it very fast. For people like us, brain gets slow. Efforts required are high. So the only thing required is willpower, that I learn more. I'll not let the technology, but quickly coming back to where I started from, look back approach, Indian education system, right? What does look back mean? AI is a buzzword now, but India's philosophers and scholars have been talking about it centuries. In Mahabharata, in Ramayana, you would have seen arrows coming and disappearing. You would have seen Ramayana flying, right? So a lot of technology, a lot of machine learning, a lot of weapons have already been talked about. A book written by Yantra Sastra in Indian 2nd century, he talks about a mechanical man that could move, speak, and even perform. So today we are calling that mechanical man a robot. But 2nd century, somebody has already spoken about it. 8th century, a mathematician talked about automated machines, calculators. 8th century, right? So these might sound to be little strange, but what I want to say is that teachers have been ahead of time. We have been ahead of time. And Indian education system was always skill-based. You would know Arjuna, right? Or you would know Mahabharata, Guru Dronacharya. He taught bow and arrow to archery to Arjuna. He gave Gada to Bhim. He gave different instruments, fighting weapons to different people. Why? Based upon their skills. Not skills. Skills were imparted to them, but it was given based upon their
potential.
Potential, right? The potential is the right word. That means our education system since earlier ages was always, so this is what I just told you, right? So you can read it later on. And this is the core idea of NEP also. Learner-centric, skill-oriented. But our system was already skill-based, right? Second important point I want to make here is Indian villages were always self-sustaining. You would see they were farmers, they were cobblers, they were carpenters, they were artisans. Everybody was around the village. Whatever I needed was around the village, right? So again, we were self-sufficient economy. Everything was around us. So education was practical. A farmer's son was learning farming. How? Based upon his family skills, right? So it was intergenerational, but it was otherwise also focus was more on vocational. The focus was on learning by doing. But what happened was Lord Macaulay came in and he brought in standardization, examination system, rote learning, learn and go and deliver in the examination, right? So you forgot that examination system, you skill-based system. And that's what the NEP says, go back to your roots. And there are so many sections in NEP where they are saying that technology is required. AI is a disruptive technology. Teachers need to be trained on technology, competency-based teaching, right? I've given you sections, but that you can see on your free time, right? So what is the parallel? Indian education system, which was in the past, an AI-based education system, there are similarities now. Earlier, we had personal teachers. AI can also act as a personal tutor. So a lot of personalized learning, a lot of comprehensive curriculum, globally accessible curriculum. Even the last point, if you see, environmental setting, you can sit under the tree, open up your laptop and study the way the Gurukul teachers were teaching you under the tree, right? So there is a lot of similarity now. Personalized interaction. For example, I give a simple example. In my house, I have 2 kids. My daughter is a fast learner. My son is a slow learner. My daughter went into a medical college, and when she was preparing for the exam, she was listening to Khan Academy videos at the speed of 2. Right? At the speed of 2, I asked her why. She said, I know this concept. I just quickly want to know the perspective. On the other hand, if I have to use AI for my son, I use it at 0.5 because he cannot comprehend information very fast. So personalized interactions, personalized tutor, right? So that's what AI-based education can give you. And what is required is only change of perspective. Bottle has been turned upside down, easy to squeeze. Same is true with us now. As a teachers, we cannot say technology is here to stay, AI is here to stay. We cannot say this cannot be used. The only thing is I have to be positively oriented and I want to use it. And we have to move forward as a mixture of human intelligence and machine intelligence. And if AI can do everything, what is that here I am for? Meraki, which is deliver with soul, love, creativity, right? So I think I have overshooted my time. So this you can go through. This is just a summary of what I talked about. And the only thing I have given tools also. We spend 30 to 40% of time on preparing lectures. ChatGPT, Perplexity can be used. Perplexity is free for all all people who are using Airtel, right? So you can download Perplexity and use it. For 1 year, it is free. For research, you can use tools like Connected Papers. I use Connected Papers. Student interaction, you can use Google Forms. Grading, you can use Gradescope. Administrative tasks, you can use Trello. Professional development learning, you can use LinkedIn Learning, Coursera, right? So these are the links which I used in this presentation today. I showed you the demo. You can see them later on your own. And this
Sir, can you show the back slide, please? The back one. Thank you, sir.
I'll share this. I'm just making it quickly, but I'll share this presentation with the organizers and they'll probably share it with you.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
And the closing point is, again, I started with this, the teacher brand. The teacher brand is assessed by visually how people see you, verbally, they hear you, and how you behave. And most of our assessment is also now being done on social media. So we have to be very careful, right? I have to the student, I cannot say that I don't know technology. I don't understand what you are doing, right? This generation understands more than me, right? So they have to see me doing it. They have to hear me saying this. And all of us, if start speaking about teaching profession positively, I'm sure we can build this brand, and we don't need national education policy to say that we need to re-establish teachers. And this is the last quote. If you read this, in a completely rational society, teachers would be at the tip of pyramid, on the top, not near the bottom. In that society, the best of us would be teachers, and the rest of us would have to settle for something else. And Lee Iacocca is one of the best renowned social scientists known across the world, written a lot of books, and is very, very popular, right? So that's what I want to end this presentation with, that's how we have to regard this brand teacher. And that would happen only through our actions, not by saying, right? So thank you very much. I'll be happy to connect with you all on LinkedIn, though I am available on all social media platforms. You can get in touch with me anywhere and we can share our learnings with each other. But I'll be more happy to interact with you anywhere, any platform, right? So thank you very much. I'm sorry for slightly overshooting my time. This is your dinner time now. So thank you very much.
Your session was so interesting that we could not even stand up during the session. It was we were thinking that you keep on telling us the new tools or keep on informing us. Sir, it was really very interactive and insightful.
Thank
So
you.
I request everyone, right now we can't have the standing ovation, but I want everyone to react with the digital clap for Sir. That was humongously, I mean, it was amazing. And I think everyone has got glued to the screen. Otherwise, we say that, span of attention is of 20% only. And it goes down, but it has not happened even for a 1 single second. So really, it was amazing session, and everyone loved to be on webcam to have a good click with sir, so that we can make this session more and more memorable for us. The way sir has delivered it, it was really mesmerizing. I'm finding short of words, what should I say, but really how you have made us from history to making teachers to be making another history by using AI. Thank you so
Thank you very
much.
much.
Thank you
sir.
so much for requesting everyone to be on webcam so that we can have a quick, snap. So you can see the flooding of claps. Virtual flood is there. So digital flood is there with the gratitude, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. I think teachers are always generous in appreciating each other. So thank you very much.
It's coming from the core of the heart.
Thank you. Thank you.
I hope, Nitika, you have taken all the snapshots. All right.
Ma'am, could you please share the feedback link? Due to technical
Yeah,
glitch,
it is.
I could not fill the feedback, ma'am.
Pingu madam, I
Okay.
posted it on the group. You can check it.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
So thank
Sir,
you
can
so
you
much.
share the PDF version of the your presentation, sir?
Sorry, I didn't get you.
Can you share your PPTX or PDF version of the presentation? It was really a great one.
I said this in the beginning that I'll share it.
We will be sharing. We will be sharing with the.
We learn from each other, so
Yeah.
there is nothing copyrighted.
So, thank you.
And
Thank
do
you,
share some
everyone.
images with me also, ma'am.
Definitely, sir. Definitely. So wishing you everyone a very intellectual. I think you had your got your intellectual your evening snack. I feel with sir session. So wishing lovely evening ahead. Thank you so much for lovely participation.
Thank you.
Looking forward for tomorrow's session. See
Thank
you
you,
over
sir.
there.
Thank
So
you, ma'am.
much.
Thank you.
Good night,
Thank you.
sir. Good night, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good night to everyone. Bye-bye.